Good evening, Nigeria, and welcome to Politics Now. I'm your host, Morno Balagbobo, live from our studio in Abuja, where the political temperature is already rising, even 2 years out from the next general election. Tonight, we'll navigate the intricate road to 2027, and we're posing a very critical question that's dominating the political discourse. Can a third force truly emerge? That is our focus for the first hour of the show today. With elections just 2 years away, Nigeria's political terrain is already shifting. The ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, remains confident in its stronghold, yet in the opposition camp, alliances are beginning to form, and the phrase "third force" is gaining significant traction. Now, let's just go back at the beginning of the week, where Senate President Akpabio controversially dismissed the idea of an opposition coalition as unrealistic and unconstitutional. But on the ground, defections continue, with reports indicating the African Democratic Congress, or the ADC, is notably gaining strength, especially in some traditional strongholds. Tonight, we unpack what's real, what's rhetoric, and whether the People's Democratic Party, the Labour Party, or the NNPP, or even emerging parties can genuinely coalesce to challenge the established two-party dominance. So let's display our talking points. First, we will try to make sense of the Senate President's argument earlier in the week, his coalition comments, and we'll look at the defections and the third force momentum. Talk about momentum. I mean, the Vice Presidency had to put out a statement today to kind of change the narrative of what played out. That was on Thursday, where the Vice President made comments about his proposed removal as governor of Borno State during the Goodluck Jonathan administration. I mean, such a long explainer there, trying to say that his case was more of a removal and that Fubara's case is not removal because President Bola Tinubu suspended him. So there is a clear difference of suspension and outright removal. So that is what the Vice Presidency is saying. Well, we're also asking, can the opposition unite? That is a very significant question. We're talking about you have huge forces like Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar. Our guest tonight is no newbie to the show. Peter Hassan, Labour Party chieftain and businessman, and also former Kaduna State Labour chairman and State Labour Executive Secretary. I mean, he will be helping us understand the dynamics of what is really going on in the Labour Party. With Peter Obi's affiliation, recall there's been this fallout between Abure and Nenadu Usman. Well, he is in the camp of Abure, so we will see how far with what is going on regarding all the internal dynamics in the party, but majorly our focus will be on the coalition, of course, opposition coalition. Well, later tonight, let us tell you that we'll be trying to unpack what will go on tomorrow in Lagos, Nigeria, with the local government polls scheduled to hold tomorrow. The police put out a statement today. Over 30,000 police officials will be distributed across the state tomorrow as electoral officials from LASIEC will be taking the polls materials to the polling booths where those in Lagos will be coming out to vote. Also, strong comments coming in from Badejo earlier today saying that, well, the time of the president is coming to a close. We will see how many local governments he will be able to deliver for the PDP later when the results will be announced on Saturday. So you want to keep it locked right here all through tomorrow on LN 24/7. Our team of reporters will be storming the streets of Lagos and giving us live updates. You don't want to miss out on all that coverage. So let's give you the talking point later on for the conversation regarding the Lagos State local government poll. We'll talk about LASIEC's preparedness and transparency. A credible process? That's the question. And also the issue of legitimacy and participation, the peace accord and the election date debate. This is also key. And of course, security and voter access, navigating tomorrow's restrictions. Our guests are Ambassador Moyosore Badejo. He's a Labour Party candidate for Kosofe local government area, a key voice representing the aspirations of his party at the Grassroots. And of course, we have Ambassador John Wesley. He will also be joining us later on tonight via video call, and we will be trying to unpack all that is playing out in the build-up and the final countdown, I must say, for the local government polls in Lagos, Nigeria tomorrow. So these are the focus of the show tonight. You don't want to miss out. We'll go on a quick breather. When we come back, my guest, Honorable Peter Hassan, will be live with me on set to begin the conversation. Stay with us.
What makes the political system what it is today? What are the recurring issues? The tussle for power.
An extremely problematic area.
The tension. The instability of the system. Join LM 24/7 as we take you inside the local and international political arena in the world of politics.
The golden age of America begins right now. I will very simply put America first.
Watch Politics Now on LM 24/7.
Don't miss Politics Now on LN 24/7.
Many thanks for staying with us. Before we continue the conversation, we have Ifaluyi joining us live from Florida in the United States. Many thanks so much for being with us, Ifaluyi. It's been a while. All right. Well, Peter Hassan is live with us in the studio. Good evening. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much.
I mean, since the last time you were here, a lot has practically happened in the political space. So we will just kick right into it, talking about the coalition. I mean, there's been a lot of reaction. And I mean, do you feel some of these reactions from the All Progressive Congress is as a result of tension or apprehensiveness towards the thought force momentum that seems to be picking up? Or you don't believe in this thought force momentum at all?
Let me say good evening. My name is Peter Hassan. Thank you for having me. It's been a while. It's a good thing for Nigerian politics. And
but is it a good thing for your party?
For my party, it's a good thing. Why it's a good thing is because of the bunch of political disturbance. They've gone to gather themselves one place. So we'll just pick the ticket and pick the positions easily.
You said bunch. I want to go back to the word that you used. You said bunch of political disturbance. So those set of people were problematic from the various political parties that they were coming out from.
Yes, they are. Look at what they did to Goodluck Jonathan. Let's look at the back. Let's flash back. Goodluck Jonathan brought Nigeria from nowhere to somewhere. Brought Nigeria economic to at least 1, 2, number first 3. Nigeria economic was there. How much was Indomie? How much was spaghetti? How much was a bag of rice? And it was going. This same set of persons gathered themselves together, disturbed Goodluck Jonathan, and took over the government. Now, they supported the past president, Muhammadu Buhari, with all their strength and all their life because they were part of the government. They didn't see anything wrong in 8 years, from number 1 in economy down to number 200 plus. They didn't see anything, no reactions. Now, somebody came in. The same person they used, or the same person they fought together to distract and disturb Goodluck's government. Now they have gang up again. Because maybe he's not dancing to their tune. Let us disturb his government. How will you determine a government in 2 years?
But a lot of people feel like without a coalition, it will be very difficult to unseat the President Tinubu administration.
I don't believe that. They are only trying to show that.
But when you look at the statistics,
that is what they are trying to show is like Tinubu government is a giant. Tinubu government is not a giant. It's just a team of strategy. It's as simple as that. But going to gang up and whatever, wait and see what will play out. We will know at the end of it who will get the ticket.
All right, let's get to some of the comments from the Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Recently, made headline-grabbing remarks at the National Assembly. I was right there at that event. He explicitly stated that Nigerians don't be deceived. Coalition politics is unrealistic, further adding that such alliances might even be unconstitutional, and his warning draws a clear line in the sand ahead of the 2027, seemingly aimed at dampening any thoughts of a united opposition. Let's have a quick look at the soundbite. We'll be right back.
I'm just attending ADC. You are registering in ADC, but my party is still alive. Then you will be talking to a child, and you will ask the child what is the name of your sister. So I won't tell you the name of your name. I will mention it. That is a child. So we are not children in this business. We don't want to go that all will be well.
All right, so we have word that Ifalui is live with us. I will come to him quickly. But Peter Hassan, your party, the Labour Party, and indeed many Nigerians witnessed how the ruling APC itself was formed from a formidable coalition. That was back in 2013 rather. So how does the Labour Party view the Senate President's recent comments dismissing coalition politics as unrealistic and unconstitutional? So do you see this as a genuine constitutional concern or just a strategic move by the ruling party to preempt a united opposition, particularly when Section 40 of our Constitution allows freedom of association and Section 84(1) of the Electoral Act allows parties to merge? I know your side of the Labour Party now is not on board with this. They were floating, words that they were going to, suspend Peter Obi or whatnot until none of this Usman. I even saw Ireti Kingigbe. I think she's now dulling the heart of ADC. So what is going on? But first, your reaction to, are you on board with the Senate President's comment?
I am not really on board with the Senate President because of recent his activities, his promotions, his words are not really promoting the one Nigeria we're talking about. He's not really promoting the development of Nigeria we're talking about. I feel at this moment the Senate President is confused. And why is he confused? He cannot handle a common issue between him and Natasha. Is it Nigeria and the coalition he can handle it? He can't handle it. So it's just a moment of fear that is making him to speak that way. And I would just advise him to be focused. If their time is off in the office, the Labour Party will remove them and take over the party. They will take over the leadership of the country very soon, come 2027.
You sound so confident in the leadership of the Labour Party. How are you going to unseat this powerful structure, that everybody is simply wary of? Governors are even leaving their party. So how do you tackle that before I get back to Ifali?
Yes, I can say that it's very clear. You are using LN247 now. With the confidence you have built in this station, you cannot sit down in this station and start promoting our other stations. So they lost confidence. You, a governor, an executive elected governor of your state, they camp into a political party because of you want to keep power. Then if you want to really keep power, go back to your people. Do what your people want, and they will re-elect you, not jumping from pillar to post. I want to say that it's not any threat at all. It's an opportunity they are creating for a party like Labour Party to take over their state because they are tired of being the leader of the state. That's why they are jumping to another political party.
All right, so let's cross over to Florida, United States, where Ifali is live with us. Thank you so much for being with us at a short notice. I'm sure you've been following the conversation. So what do you understand to be the actual constitutional barriers, if any, to political coalitions or joint candidacies in Nigeria beyond the well-known defection clause in Section 68(1)(g), which typically requires a lawmaker to vacate their seat unless there is a party division, a merger?
Well, thank you. Thank you again for having me. And I have enjoyed the conversation thus far. And I do not think that there are any barriers that prevent political actors or political parties from collaborating, as an election approaches, or if they're forming a coalition or even a merger. There's a laid down process for which that is done. And we've seen that happen before in our political history. The APC, was formed via a merger of several political parties, and they were able to wrest power from the ruling party at the time. And there's a sense in which the same thing is happening again in Nigeria today. For the first time in many years, we have seen a heightened enthusiasm in the hearts of Nigerians. In the last 1 or 2 weeks, since the ADC came to fruition, since we saw leaders from the PDP, the Labour Party, the NNPP, and even the APC come together to form an association, to form a coalition, to assemble themselves under the umbrella or under the platform, if you like, of the ADC. We've seen a renewed sense of hope amongst the Nigerian people. Why are they excited? They're excited because now they perceive that there will now be a viable opposition party, an efficient and effective opposition party that would check the ruling party. Sadly, my party, the PDP, we don't appear to have done very well in that regard of putting the APC on her toes. That is why I the view or the excitement of majority of Nigerians that now that the ADC has come, there'll be so much more to engage with the failures of the APC. I think in 2 years, 2 years is more than enough to know or to show that the government will not have direction, that the government will not move forward, that the government will not make progress. And if the government does not make progress, then the people do not make progress. When there's so much movement and there's no distance traveled, then there's no work done. And so the work done to a large extent for the Nigerian state, as we can apportion, if you allow me to use the word, to the pockets of the Nigerian people. The APC has been a failure. The Tinubu administration has taken over from where Buhari left it and has worsened our lot as a people. And for us to hear the Senate presidents make a joke of the pain, the agony, the trauma, the turmoil that Nigerians go through, and to say that the opposition or the ADC, is in the term he used, is interesting. And the people are watching, the Nigerian people are observing, and they are seeing how he has continuously made mockery of the Senate, made merchandise of the Nigerian people. How can it be that we have a Senate president at that level of political authority, make light, or not even make light, make a joke of our nation? Where I was seeing where he was singing "On Your Marriage We Shall Stand" on the floor of the Nigerian Senate. Have we become such a joke that leaders who were elected to deploy the resources of the people to their benefit and who have failed at that task now make mockery of us on TV? The Nigerian people are watching, and we're going to pass a clear message. The storm is brewing, the people are coming together. And let me tell you, I hold the view, and very strongly, that the ADC is not just about the main actors that we saw on TV that day on the high table, former politicians. People say, "Oh, these are yesterday's men or men of old who have been in the system. So what do they have to offer?" And the point is, yes, this is a collaboration of existing political parties. You don't expect to see members of my family, maybe from my father's side or my mother's side, on the high table.
There
These are
are
members
people
of a
who are
political party.
concerned about the role that youth will play. I think that is really what is quite interesting. But we'll come back to you, follow you. We put up a poll so that you at home can be a part of the conversation. You can head over to our X, formerly Twitter, and participate in our poll. We asked, can a third force realistically challenge APC and PDP in 2027? And of course, yes, it's time for new power. 50% agrees, and then 16.7% says no, the structure isn't there. So do we continue with the APC-led administration? That's another food for thought. And then maybe, depends on who leads it, 33.3%. So, Peter, you're seeing these reactions from Nigerians. Do they get a picture of what's at stake in 2027?
Yes, Nigeria are very, very observant. And I want to tell you that from 2023, Nigerian political landscape has taken another dimension from what people used to know. Formerly,
would you say it's for worse or for better?
For better. For better.
In
Nigerian
what way?
populists, yes. Formerly, Nigerians don't take politics serious They don't publicize politics. They don't look at what is happening in political parties, party administrations. They don't analyze it. But today, you will see the youth, you will see the women. Everybody is playing one key role or the other to effect a positive change, which means they have realized that Nigerian politics is not only meant for some selected persons, but for everybody. So with what we are seeing today, I want to tell you that the youth are watching, the women are watching. Because today politics, the youth have 60% and the women has 40%. The elders have only 10% in Nigerian politics. But it's unfortunate that it's the same elders that are in the aim of power. Wait and see what Nigerian populace will do come 2027. It will amaze us.
All right, so let's move to our second critical talking point. We're looking at defections and third force momentum. Our former Senate President David Mark recently declared that the coalition will stop Nigeria from becoming a one-party state. And this powerful statement comes as the African Democratic Congress, ADC, is making headlines with new defections. I mean, some will say, at least this time, the people are not going to the APC. But this time around, particularly reported from Borno, a traditional APC stronghold. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party, the main opposition, appears to remain fractured with ongoing leadership battles. Now, adding another intriguing layer to this landscape, just yesterday, Vice President Kashim Shettima made headlines at a recent book launch. He notably stated that APC, PDP, NNPP, and ADC are essentially all one, emphasizing what binds the political class together surpasses whatever divides us. He even described former Kaduna Governor Nasir El-Rufai, a key figure reportedly aligned with the ADC coalition, as his elder brother. Shettima also used the platform to recount how the Goodluck Jonathan administration attempted to remove him as governor with constitutional backing from individuals like Mohammed Bello Adoke and Aminu Tambuwal. Now, these comments, especially the "we are all one" remark, and his reflections on past political battles are being widely speculated by many as potentially signaling a subtle rift with his boss, President Tinubu, coming amidst rumors that he might not be picked as a vice presidential candidate, also with rumors of those defections from the APC in Borno State, that state that we would technically say belongs to him, probably the godfather of politics in Borno State. So all of this is just adding to the dynamics of the conversation of what is going on. But as we told you earlier on the show today, the vice presidency, including the presidency, they put out a statement and just saying, no, that was just mistrued, and people just, you know, speculate here and there with media organizations trying to spin the narrative. So let's get back to Ifaluyi. Let's take your quick reaction to this development. I mean, is there really something going on in the camp of the APC? They are trying to paint it like all is well. But, I mean, are people really stupid? Are we that are monitoring the political, will I say, pendulum, so to speak? It's swinging left and right. So are we really fools? Don't we really get the picture? We saw those defections in APC in Borno State. They are moving to the ADC. What's going on? And the vice president is making all of those comments. I mean, to you, all these narratives being pushed by the presidency and the vice presidency, does it resonate with you?
Well, thank you, Mona. The bottom line is that the Tinubu administration will be a one-term administration. By 2027, this administration will end, and a new administration will take over from here. That is what the Nigerian people are saying. And that is what the ADC is trying to amplify. Anyone who's taking it for a joke is just, you know, making mockery of himself. Nigerians are tired of the APC because all the APC has brought is sorrow, tears, and blood of Nigerian people since 2015. And the cry is one. We want to build strong institutions and not strong men like the present administration appears to build. We want to be able to have our votes cast, have individuals be responsible to remain in the political parties as they wish, and not have governors to be oppressed. Parties to join. Nigerians want to be able to have institutions that will speak for the people. They don't want to have an education or a perception that an individual has control of the Supreme Court. They don't want to have the perception that an individual has control of the legislature, even if an individual has control of the executive. The Nigerian people want to see a democracy that thrives, and unfortunately, the Tinubu administration is suffocating democracy. We saw to the build-up of the Edo elections, where the president said in a meeting with APC members from Edo State, I will give you Edo State. And the politicians were all excited. Many watchers were amazed. How can it be that one individual is determining what should happen in Edo State when it is in a democracy, the people's votes should determine? That is the level we have sunk to democratically in Nigeria, and that is why the people are yearning for a change. That's number one. Number two, there has been a sustained decay of the quality of lives of Nigerian people. Nigerians can no longer afford 2 square meals in a day. We're seeing a complete decline in job creation. We're seeing a decline in maternal mortality and infant mortality. We're seeing a decline in unemployment. We're seeing a rise in poverty. We're seeing a decline in the gross happiness index of the Nigerian people. What's our GDP today? The APC took over a government or a nation that was the fastest growing economy in Africa. The APC took over a nation that was the number one destination for foreign direct investment in Africa. The APC took over a nation that had almost $600 billion GDP. The APC took over a nation that was thriving. Nigerians were exploring. Nigerians were excelling. In the last 10 years, where are we today? Let's not even talk about the cost of living, because living can no longer afford to live in a Tinubu administration today. That is why we must change the administration. And that is why I find so much energy
Peter
in the
Hassan
spirit of the ADC.
We'll come back to you. Now, when you come to the issue of economic hardship, I mean, the narrative from the people in government is they are doing a lot. And, you know, the whole issue of the whole student loan scheme, you know, seems to be over-bloated from them. Like, I mean, we're impacting, you know, at the open week, the Senate president was saying over 350,000 plus youths, you know, who could not have access to education, now have, you know, good access to education, which we don't want to like downgrade that development. It's a welcome development. But Peter, you see all of this, the comments from the vice president, whether they say there is trouble in paradise in that camp between the president or the presidency. My question for you is, how is Labour Party positioning itself against this third force that is coming into the situation? Because your party, the Labour Party, used to, I mean, I would say, used to be the third force. You had APC, you had PDP, and then you had Labour Party. But now you have ADC, I mean, coming to push you out of that third force momentum. Perhaps you don't agree with what I just said.
No, I don't agree with that. Because even as we looked at it, if you see by Nigerian political calculations, you say Labour Party is a third force, but by the poll, you will know that the Labour Party were the second force. And with what has happened in the circulation of the proposed second poll, you will know it that the Labour Party is the second force of political driving in Nigeria. Now, be it as it may, I want you to also understand that the Labour Party is not deterred. The Labour Party is not distracted. The Labour Party is focused, very, very focused. Check the Labour Party. How many of the Labour Party, you will hear the camp, how many of the Labour Party have you had in the camp? Now, in the political party, the first thing you have to check is one, the leadership from the local government, leadership from the state, leadership from the world. How many have gathered themselves and moved or leave the party? You always see it that it is only those who are rigmaroling, they are the ones that are leaving the party. Those who they are irrelevant are not being felt. But the party administration under the leadership of Julius Abure is still intact and is still working. And wait and see what will happen in tomorrow's election in Lagos. You will know that Labour Party are really up.
Absolutely. And talking about the Labour Party, we will be talking to them shortly. But our last talking point before we cross over to the next conversation to focus on the Lagos State local government polls, the ADC is calling for SDP, NNPP, and everybody to unite together. I know, if I know you, you've responded to that question, and I think you're clearly on board with this coalition. But before I come to you quickly, I want Peter Hassan to quickly tell me, so is Labour Party going to respond to the call? I mean, your arm of Labour Party. Because you say you are not divided, but it's clear you're divided. Obi is, I mean, romancing ADC, and then Julius Abure, he's not. So
I want you to understand that
have you come together to agree on the path you want to tour in 2027?
The Labour Party is not divided. The Labour Party is one and intact.
So are you going to work with the ADC coalition?
We are not working with the ADC coalition.
You will be by yourself.
The Labour Party are going to stand by herself based on based on the last comment made by the national chairman, Barrister Julius Abure. The Labour Party are standing on herself.
So what happens
until
to
the National Working Committee takes another step?
Caretaker.
What are you talking about? You say who?
Because they are parading themselves as...
They are only... These are people who are hungry. They are hungry of power. Today you will see the same person you are talking about. You see the person with SDP. Tomorrow you will see the same person with ADC. Next tomorrow you will see the person is a card-carrying member of PDP. What are we saying? And that is anti-party, and it's a punishable offense. I want to tell you, it's either you take it or you leave it. Go and find out. You are a media person. Let us see it in the media where Nanadi Usman resigned her position as a member of PDP. Have you ever seen any document showing Nanadi Usman has resigned from PDP? No. There is no any document till date. So I want to tell you that Nanadi issue is irrelevant as long as Labour Party is concerned. Check today. We did elections in Ondo. We did election in Edo, and the election is coming up in where? Anambra, whose candidacy is INEC recognizing. That is where the political drive is. And another thing I want you to know before you go forward is that the people who discuss about party is the state chairman and secretaries and the National Working Committee. It's not those people who are aspirants, who have aspired. As any aspirant cannot be compared to a party leadership. Peter Obi position in Labour Party. A ward chairman is more than Peter Obi position in Labour Party.
Okay, before we wrap up, Ifeanyi, please, your final thoughts before we go. What, in your view, will be the most crucial factor shaping the opposition's chances for a united front in 2027? I mean, elite-level negotiations, power-sharing agreements, or genuine grassroots voter energy demanding a consolidated alternative? And what should Nigerians realistically expect between now and the second quarter of 2026, when candidate selection, funding, and state-level alliances typically begin to crystallize?
Well, I tell you what, just as the political elite, you know, like we saw on TV a few days ago, a meeting in Abuja and having to come together, the Nigerian people are doing the same, even without any instruction to go ahead. I can tell you for a fact that in Edo State, we're already preparing, you know, our team, preparing ourselves, collaborating, you know, to strengthen the coalition. We see this, we don't want the PDP to be dead. We don't want the Labour Party to be dead. We don't want NNPP to be dead. No, let us still have those party system available. But the plan is to get Tinubu out of power by every democratic means possible. That is the whole idea behind this coalition. And that is what Nigerians want. It's beyond Peter Obi, it's beyond Alhaji Atiku, it's beyond El-Rufai and all those other figures. It's about the Nigerian people. That's what they want. And I can tell you for a fact, Nigerians themselves are preparing for 2027. And at the end of the day, I can assure you that President Tinubu will be a one-term president.
All right. Well, the big question is not just removing Tinubu from power, but what does the opposition bring to the table? I think that is the talking point of those in power.
Wait, I can round off with that. Let me round off quickly. You see, like I told you, the primary factor is the destruction of our democracy. We cannot afford to have President Tinubu continue to destroy our democracy. Where one man decides who will be governor of a state, where one man may decide what the outcome of the ruling of the High Court or a federal High Court or a Supreme Court would be, where one man will decide, the affairs of a nation. That is more than enough reason to remove a sitting president, and that is
All
number
right.
one reason why we're going to get him
We've got to
removed.
let you go. Our guests are joining us from Lagos to discuss the Lagos local government poll. Thank you so much for being with us on the show tonight. All right, as we've heard tonight, the road to 2027 is already under construction, but who's truly building for the future and who might just be inadvertently blocking traffic? From high-level comments questioning political loyalties to ongoing defections and ever-present challenge of opposition unity, Nigeria's political landscape is not just shifting, it's a dynamic, unpredictable arena. Whether the so-called third force can genuinely emerge and rally enough momentum to challenge the established order remains to be seen. But one thing is clear, the conversation has begun, the stakes are high, and the political future is set for continued transformation. Well, we'll go on a quick break. We'll be right back. And of course, Honorable Peter Hassan is still here with us. He started talking about Lagos polls. I mean, so many expectations are high. Labour Party, I think, won Lagos in the 2027 polls, aside from the gubernatorial elections. But we'll be right back shortly. Our guests are standing by. Ambassador John Wesley and, of course, Badejo will be joining us shortly to stay with us.
What makes the political system what it is today? What are the recurring issues? The tussle for power.
An extremely problematic area.
The tension. The instability of the system. Join LM 24/7 as we take you inside the local and international political arena in the world of politics.
The golden age of America begins right now. I will very simply put America first.
Watch Politics Now on LM 24/7.
Don't miss Politics Now on LN 24/7.
Many thanks for staying with us on the show tonight. Our focus is crystal clear. We're looking at the Lagos Local Government Polls 2025, final countdown, and key issues we'll be exploring: LASIEC's preparedness and transparency, a credible process, and legitimacy and participation, the peace accord and the election date debate, and of course security and voter access, navigating tomorrow's restrictions. Well, joining us for this conversation virtually, we have Ambassador Moyosore Badejo, Labour Party candidate for Kosofe local government area, and of course a key voice representing the aspirations of his party. Moyosore, can you hear us? Good evening and thanks for being with us on the show.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, man.
All right. We'll come to you quickly. We also have Ambassador John Wesley joining us, I think, via audio call. Ambassador John, are you with us? Good evening. Okay, before we dive into the discussion, let's take a quick snapshot at what's playing out in tomorrow's polls. We have an infographic that clearly paints a picture of all we need to know about tomorrow's elections. I think it's very key for us to start with that. First, the election date is tomorrow, 12, 2025, and we've got 20 local government areas, 37 local council development areas, totaling to 57 councils. Chairmanship, we have 376 councillorship And of course, for the wards in Lagos State, there are 367 wards, polling units, over 13,000 polling units. And of course, Lagos population approximately stands at 17.2 million, and registered voters in Lagos is 7 million plus. That's based on data collected during the 2023 elections, which represents 88% of registered voters. And political parties contesting for tomorrow's election is 19. So that's the total number that we are looking at. The big question is, will all of these people come out to vote tomorrow? So let's kickstart with our first talking point, focusing on LASIEC's preparedness and transparency. I mean, in the lead up to tomorrow's polls, concerns have been widely articulated by civil society organizations, including the EIE Nigeria, regarding the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission. A key point of contention has been the very late release of the final list of the validated candidates. I think it was released on the 4th of July. So if you do the math, how many days will it take for them to truly prepare? And of course, it became public just 4 days ago for an election that is happening tomorrow. And critics also cite a lack of online accessibility for this crucial list, along with questions about LASIEC's overall communication and adherence to its own timetable. So, Ambassador Badejo, thank you so much for being with us. As a candidate directly impacted by this process, what is your party's assessment of LASIEC's preparedness? Do you believe these delays and accessibility issues for the candidates list undermines the transparency and overall credibility of this election, especially with the introduction of the BVAS technology?
Yes, so good evening. First of all, it's very sad that LASIEC, at this stage can keep on doing this. And I talk to you currently, LASIEC has not even released the polling unit agent tags to we, the candidate or the party. My people are still at LASIEC by this time, and this is 7:46, and they're still at LASIEC trying to get tags for an election that is tomorrow. Election that is tomorrow, our names were released on Monday for an election that is on Saturday. So to me, LASIEC has been, they've been trying their possible best to torment and, frustrate we, the opposition party. And that's the truth. All right.
We've got a chieftain of your party here with us. I want him to weigh in. Honorable Peter Hassan, I mean, you're seeing these comments about LASIEC. I saw the press briefing they did yesterday, and they were like, they are not really doing anything to really frustrate political parties, but you're hearing from the horse's mouth a candidate for tomorrow's elections.
But sincerely, I want to say it that I want Nigerians to know it that it's crystal clear that this is the formation of APC government where they hijack result and declare whoever they want to declare. How will election be in the next election is tomorrow? You are bringing out the names of successful candidates just 4 days to election. How will they go around? How will they do their final touching? It is wrong. And I want to let you to understand that at this stage of our political movement, the LASIEC have already written. They've already written the names of whoever they want to make. They want to make to be the candidate or the emerged candidate. There is already a purported list, except we see it. Because during all the past elections, we have seen it. Kaduna as a whole, we sat down only for us to go in the morning. We are waiting for, by this time in Kaduna, during our local government pool, we were there. We were waiting for material, only for them to bring material, and there was no result. No final result, only for us to go in the morning. Before 10, 11 a.m., people were still waiting. They've gone to make announcements in the public, in the media, that the election has been concluded and APC won all the seats. So it's the same thing, except if the president and commander-in-chief will prove that he is transparent, Nigerians should trust him 2027. We are going to see it in this LASIEC election tomorrow.
I mean, earlier today, Badejo, a chieftain in the People's Democratic Party, also had a press briefing, and he had a lot to say. Because of time, we may not be able to play that soundbite for you. But let's quickly head over to our X platform. Ambassador Badejo, we would love you to react to some of the concerns that we put up on our X poll. We asked the question, What is, when it comes to Lagos local government polls, what is your biggest concerns for tomorrow? And the options we gave, we said LASIEC's transparency and preparedness. 40% of our followers agrees that that is a big concern. Also, election security. We told you at the beginning of the show that over 13,000 security operatives have been deployed in Lagos State as regarding this election. Also, 40% okay, for the election security, then process legitimacy. People don't seem to be concerned about that. And also voter apathy, like we told you from the screenshot of the infographics we gave you to give you an outlook of what it's looking like tomorrow. Over 7 million registered persons who have voters' cards to vote tomorrow. Badejo, what is concerning for you? What are you most concerned about? They've talked about no movement tomorrow in Lagos. How are your team coping with this injunction from the Lagos State Police Command? But away from LASIEC, what is really key for you? Ambassador, are you there with us? Okay, we hope to have you connect back with us so we can really get your perspective. But let's move the conversation further, talking about legitimacy and participation. There was this issue with the peace accord and election date. Most of the political parties participating did not see eye to eye with LASIEC. And the election has seen significant pre-poll disputes. We've learned that several opposition parties, including the Labour Party, reportedly did not sign the peace accord facilitated by LASIEC, primarily rather due to unresolved issues concerning the candidate registration. Furthermore, legal concerns have been publicly raised, questioning whether tomorrow's election date itself falls outside the lawful window stipulated by the Electoral Act of 2022. So, Ambassador, are you there with us? Ambassador Olabode? Okay, thankfully Peter is still here with us. I mean, how do you view the refusal of some political opposition parties to sign this peace accord? I mean, that is something you would expect to be done by every concerned stakeholder. So if you don't sign the peace accord, how do you guarantee peace during the elections? I mean, what proof do you have to, if the ruling party comes and say some of your team were disruptive in the process?
I think it's a very simple thing.
God is simply extending it.
Okay, we have John Wesley with us. I beg your pardon.
My reaction to that. Can I go on, please? Can I go ahead?
Yes, you can go ahead, John Wesley.
So, like I was saying, my humble reaction to that is that for anyone or any candidate or political party refraining from the peace accord is that they are.
Ambassador John Wesley, can you hear me? We're finding it difficult to connect with you. Well, if your network is better, you can actually jump on the conversation. So I beg your pardon, Honorable Peter, you were about making a point.
Yeah, of what is the peace accord we are talking about? When the LASIEC herself did not do publication as at when due, and there are legal issues on ground, and they are still going ahead with the elections. That alone, for delay of the publication, is a breach of trust and breach of contracts. That's one. Number two, for them not to attend to the court cases that are on ground. Is it after the election has come, that's when you now start going to court and saying the election is cancelled based on court injunction or whatever? And we have known it very well that anything that had to do with APC government And don't forget, Lagos is an APC state where the president and commander in charge is from. So certainly it's just a way of making the people not to participate in the election.
The big question is if people will even turn out for that election, because population in Lagos is 17.2 million plus. That's estimate. And just 7 million collected the voters card. And you were talking about excitement that the political space that we are in today is better than 2023.
Yes.
Where just 20% of those who had PVCs came out to participate in the electoral process. And I think this Lagos election will be quite telling of how 2027 is going to look. But quickly, let's run to our last talking point on the show tonight. Hopefully we can connect with Badejo and also John Wesley, looking at the issue of security and voter access. And the Lagos State Police Command has announced comprehensive restriction on vehicular movement across Lagos from 3 a.m. to 3 p.m. tomorrow, July 12th. While this measure is ostensibly for security, it inevitably raises questions about its impact on voter turnout and the ease with which citizens can access their polling units. So, Ambassador Badejo, I do hope you are back with us. What are your party's concerns regarding the vehicular movement restriction and the general security architecture for tomorrow? Do you believe it might inadvertently suppress voter turnout? And what is your message to voters who might face challenges getting to their polling units? Okay, let's turn to Olabode. Are you with us, Olabode? Okay, it will be interesting to hear from the ruling party's perspective. This level of security is deemed essential, and it will be very telling to really know how they are actually assuring Lagosians of their safety tomorrow and what specific measures are in place by the authorities. The police state command said over 30,000 persons have been deployed so far for the elections tomorrow. And I think that is really, really very key. So, Peter Hassan, as we begin to wrap up the conversation on the Lagos State polls, which I think is very, very, very telling of what 2027 is going to look like. I mean, Labour Party, your party did very well in the last elections. So are you hopeful that things will go smoothly, or do you think the process has already been bastardized with the precedent that has been set so far?
Yes, I believe that if the right thing is done, the Labour Party are going to make a lot of impact in this election coming up tomorrow. And I don't think movement is going to be restricted, because in every election, from the various local government or area councils, there are what we call election duties, which the political party have access to election duty. When you get election duty and you give to your vehicle, once you show the election duty, the security will allow you to gain access to go for what? The election. Except if you are not going toward the direction of the election, that's when the security are going to come in. They will stop you or ask you to go back. But as long as you carry the tag or sticker that have to do with election duties, vehicles are allowed to move when they have election duty. So you have your private car, if you have access to election duty, you can also move forward. But I want to assure you that if the president is transparent enough, not like what happened in Edo State, a lot of political parties will emerge, and I tell you, Labour Party is going to make a lot of impact. Based on what happened in 2023 election, Labour Party are already on ground, and they are ready to take over so many area councils.
You know, this is really concerning, what is playing out in Lagos State, and with all we've seen, it's quite telling, because, I mean, there is this allegation, so to speak. I don't really want to give credence to it, that this administration is doing a lot to frustrate the electoral process, because you look at the National Assembly, this week was open week, where the public has been interacting with lawmakers, and that seems to be something that is very important to the public, but that has not been discussed. The tax bill, electricity bill, those are of more priority to the elites in the National Assembly. But let's see if we can connect once again to Badejo. and also Olabode in Lagos. Can we hear from you gentlemen as we wind down the curtains? Okay. Well, our time is up. I want to thank our special guest tonight on the show, Peter Hassan. Thank you so much for being with us. And I mean, we still have 2 years. There's a lot that can change in terms of the dynamics of what we're seeing in our politics today.
Yeah, that's true. I want to thank you for having me, and I want to tell you that there is a lot that is still on ground. We're just 2 years, as you have said, and I know very well every political party is still re-strategizing, and what we have seen on the ground, a lot of people will still be wounded because there were some people that moved to SDP, and today they are in ADP or ADC, and we have a lot of PDADC, and we have a lot of ADC PDP, and you hardly see those who are from Labour Party collapsing and going down to the ADC, because we believe so much in the work we have put on ground, and we are going to consolidate on it in order to bring the government come 2027. We remain resolute. And I want to tell you that in Labour Party, it is called equal opportunity.
All
That's
right.
the motto we have. And I want to say thank you very much for having me, and happy birthday in Arias.
Thank you so much. Well, to all Lagosians, the stage is set. Tomorrow, July 12th, is your day to shape the future of your local communities. The challenges are clear, the conversations intense, but the power ultimately rests with you, the voter. Every vote cast at the local government level is a direct investment in the schools, healthcare, infrastructure, and security of your immediate environment. Do not let any perceived hurdle deter you from exercising this fundamental right and civic responsibility. So go out, vote peacefully, protect your vote, and let your voice resonate from every word and every polling unit. Well, that's all for Politics Tonight. From all of us here at LN 24/7, I am Mono Balagbobo. Have a good night, and may Lagos experience a truly free, fair, and successful local government election polls. Good night.